It's too much of a glare. There we go, good enough. Well, hey guys, today's gonna be kind of a different video. I don't usually do this, but this is probably one of the funniest, most bizarre experiences I've ever had. So today I will be telling you the story of what happened last weekend. So it all started where my social worker, not giving out names, she called my foster dad, Keith. So there's two people in this story. Keith, Noah. They're both with me on this car ride. But it all starts where my social worker calls Keith. He wasn't in the car right away because our vehicle got stuck. So that Friday, let's restart. Let's restart. Okay. Friday. Me and Keith, which is my foster dad, went to go up to Black Creek and check out his hunting shack because he's gonna start hunting season, and it ends next week. So he just showed me around just in case if I went hunting with him and stuff like that. So, but what happened is when we drove up to his hunting shack, it's by his friend Ken's house. So his friend Ken has a farm, and his farm is kind of located on this big highway, and on this highway you kind of get off the highway, but it's in a straight line and it's kind of out in the country. So you turn in, so you can turn in with the car, and his barn is on this side. So the barn's right here, and the entrance is right there, and you're gonna go right through, and then there's a big area in the background where there's fields and there's this hunting shack. So me and Keith were in the car, and we're in his Kia. It's not that hard. There's one right there, and that's the one we specifically have. And what happened was we got stuck. You got to remember, I don't know. It could be in the other world right now. It could in like another side of the world. It could be raining. It could be fucking hot as hell. But in America, in Black Creek, it was snowing. It was snowing, and Keith got his Kia fucking stuck into literally the dirt. So we're a couple. I'm gonna say a couple, like 7 feet away from the barn. So remember, the barn's on that way, and the barn's right here. Kind of turn the angle on this side. The barn's right there, and we're like this far away. And Keith gets his Kia stuck in the dirt. And there is actually a video. It is on private though, cause it shows phone numbers and stuff like that. But I'll get into that later. So this Kia that got stuck, oh my god, was Keith pissed. Oh my god, he was just like, motherfucker, I swear to fuck. And then he tried to like back, so he put the car in reverse. He tried to take the whole Kia, reverse it all the way back, and then he pulled it back into drive and drove forward. And sometimes I had to remove myself from the Kia and help him push forward, or on the back of the Kia to push him out of this position where he was stuck. But I was telling him, Keith, you cannot be putting your car in drive and then pulling it in reverse. Because what you're doing is, when he was stuck, is when he was putting it in reverse, he was digging a hole deeper into the ground. And then when he pulled it in drive, it didn't even help because it made it worse, because then he was doing the complete opposite, and he was just putting the hole a lot deeper. But wasn't fucking listening. He said, you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm like, okay, alright. So it's just so funny how he fucking spazzes. It is so is just great. It really is. So, anyway, we eventually had to wait for his friend Ken to come. And Ken, oh my god, he had to bring his fucking tractor all the way up from his barn or farm, all the way up to his Kia. We had to hook up the Kia. Keith had to literally, okay, so the Kia's on the ground. He's stuck. Keith, he's a bigger guy. Pretend like the Kia's the Kia's this chair. And under this Kia, he had to go under the vehicle, so his head's under there. And what's happening is he's trying to hook up the chain on the tractor to the Kia, to the back of the Kia. So eventually, Keith, kept on putting it on reverse so it would help the tractor move him back. So eventually, Ken pulled the tractor out and we got it hooked up and everything. And it pulled all the way out. It pulled the Kia too, so it was following. So we eventually got unstuck. So we unhooked the tractor. We brought the tractor all the way back to the barn. And I was like, yes, all right, finally we can start this adventure by looking at the hunting shack and stuff. Because I was making a YouTube video, or planning on it that day, that I was going to just, because you can check out the hunting video. It's called My First Hunting Trip. It's a really cool video. I never went hunting before, so it's my first time ever. So, yeah, pretty much, we were going to go check out the hunting shack. The little shack that, Keith was going to shoot the deer from. He's not going to go in the snow. He's just not that kind of person. So, we were going to do that. We were going to make the YouTube video and stuff like that. And he gave me permission that he could be in it. So, I was just so excited. So, we're getting in the car. We're about to go to the shack. Remember, the shack is a couple ways from this Kia. And I'm saying it's not too far, but the barn's on this side. And do you remember that big background I was talking about? The shack was on the way other side of this backyard. The backyard I'm talking was huge. Just like a fucking football field. It's crazy. So, anyway, we were driving there. Me and Keith were in the car. He's driving the Kia. And out of nowhere, we're just like, what the hell? I look at Keith. And Keith's like, oh, son of a bitch. He's honking the horn. We got stuck again. So I had to physically remove myself from the Kia, go all the way back, push him out again, practically repeating the same process we did the first time. He called his friend Ken, brought in the tractor for the second time now, hooked it up, brought him back out, and bam, finally, we got out of that situation. But 2 times we had to deal with this. Oh God. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but I got a little cold, but I thought this would be a really cool story to tell. Also, follow and subscribe to our notifications, because I will be having a Thanksgiving special out later today. Okay, so this was still Friday, and my social worker called up Keith, and I had to answer because, he was still getting stuck and he had to deal with the tractor and stuff. And she said that I was going to go actually hang out with my 2nd grade teacher for the weekend. So I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen her since I was 2nd grade. So, yeah. So that was the plan. At like 5:30, I believe, Keith had it, we were going to go from Black Creek. And remember, that's like kind of in the Green Bay area. So from Black Creek, and we were going to go all the way to Manitowoc, which is about an hour and a half tops. But usually it takes an hour and 10 minutes. But we didn't do that yet. So Keith, I told Keith everything, and he's like, oh, yeah, okay, all right, that's fine. I'm glad your social worker called. So that night, Noah, this Well, he's kind of a he's Keith's foster son was, but he's old enough. He's 19. He kind of lives on his own now, and yeah, he comes over every weekend just to see us, which is pretty awesome. You know, just getting to hang out and stuff. I thought that was really nice of him and cool of him. You know, knowing that he's a complete dick, but he was gonna go with us that night to the hunting shed and go check out stuff like that. So now time has passed. You got to remember. So this is around 5-ish. I'm gonna say. Earlier, though, around I'm gonna say 1 o'clock when we were done looking at the shed and stuff. Me and Keith drove to his daughter's house. His two daughters. I'm not saying names, but both of them live in Green Bay. One of them lives on the other side of Green Bay and stuff like that. So I'm not just saying addresses. But anyway, we went to his daughter's house. And we just hung out there most of the day. And Noah was going to drive to his daughter's house. So, and we were all going to meet up together. And eventually, Noah would bring his truck. And we would, drive all the way up to Manitowoc to drop me off by my second grade teacher. But we were all driving. Me, Keith, and Noah all together. We were driving. We just had to get something from the shed, I believe. Which that backfired because we were sitting in the Kia. We're in the driveway of his daughter's house. And fuck, so Keith literally lost his daughter's keys, I believe, in her house. So in other words, he had to call up her maintenance, I believe, excuse me, and ask if they had like a second key at all, but they didn't. So we were stuck there another 20 minutes. We had to go all the way and find a way in the house. We eventually found a way in the house. He got the keys. We left. We went back to the shed. We're on the highway of Green Bay. And we're driving. We're just going. And remember, those roundabouts so those highways that have a bridge on top. So this is the highway. There's a bridge on top. And there's kind of a roundabout that goes higher and it leads to that bridge. I don't know what you call those, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. They're in usually big cities like Milwaukee, New York, all that kind of stuff. But when we were supposed to take that turn to go up, and that was the way to Manitowoc. So Keith doesn't realize it. The GPS tells him to turn this way, but he's still straight. And he's like, oh, fuck. Well, I think I can make it. So because he's barely about to, okay, so you gotta remember these bridges are built kind of on a hill, too. But it's a kind of a straight road until you hit that hill. He didn't hit that point in the road where he would hit that hill, because if he would have turned on the hill, it would have made him go in a car accident. But still, there was a little bit of road left. So he just fucking drifted it. He drifted the whole Kia. We were airborne. I'm just saying that right now. We hit the whole thing, and this is around 5 o'clock, and we boom, smack into the thing. We're going up on the roundabout, and Keith pulls over the car, and he's like, "Son of a bitch, are you kidding me?" Pulls over the car, parks the car. He's like, "Hey," because I'm in the back seat, so driver, passenger, 2 back seats back there. I was in this back seat. Keith was in front of me. He was the driver, and Noah was in the passenger seat. He goes, "Hey, Noah, can you please open the door and see if there's a flat tire?" And I was like, "Oh no, I better get my phone out and record this," which I did. So Noah, he exits the car. He goes around. He looks at all the tires, and on that passenger side that he walks out, the first thing he sees is that on the passenger side in front of him, that tire is flat. So Noah's like, yep, the tire is flat. And Keith's on the driver, and he's like, ah, shit. You fucking kidding me? He's pissed. He is spazzing. And I'm just like, I'm just trying not to laugh the whole time, but I sometimes just bursted out into laughter. I was just having the fucking time of my life. It was the most, like I said, it's the most. So you kind of get those feelings where it's things. There's a situation where it's very bizarre, and you just don't know have any other way to react, but you just laugh. You just laugh. It's cool. It's a cool situation to be in, but it's just so awkward that you just have to laugh. I don't know why. That's just me. I don't know if you guys have something like that, but anyway, Keith had to call, people to I don't know what you want. Car insurance. The car insurance company. So he holds them on the phone. We're listening, and they put us on hold, and we're sitting there 20 fucking minutes just, come on, when the fuck are they going to pick up the goddamn phone? So, eventually they pick up the phone, and Keith was asking them where their company is, if they're closest to Green Bay as of to Milwaukee, where are they? And the guy said they're nationwide, so they're all over the damn place. So Keith says, yeah, he was thinking about having one of those donut tires that can go a couple miles, but you got to remember, we're still kind of in Green Bay, so we had to go all the way to Manitowoc, which is probably 45 minutes away. So we're just like, we're fucked. We can't have a donut fucking wheel. So anyway, Keith said, yeah, he needs to get to the closest Fleet Farm or whatever, because Fleet Farm was pretty close. There was an Arby's over there. There's a gas station over there. And we're all just like, oh god, we need a new tire, and we need it now, because we need to go to drop me off at my second grade teacher's house. So anyhow, they tell Keith that, sir, we can't do that right now. All we can do is we can tow your truck or your Kia, specifically. And yeah. So Keith's like, no, I can't do this. I got fucking places to be. He wasn't saying it word for word. He wasn't swearing at the guy. He was just saying, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to let you go. So hangs up the phone. And we're just fucked. We're fucked. It's probably it's 6 o'clock now, because time has passed during this whole time, and we're just thinking of ideas. Noah in the passenger seat is getting a hold of his friends, and he's just trying everyone. Some I know, like some guy who used to work with at A&W, called him. He wasn't available. He was working all night. And wow, was it the worst fucking time possible to be working all night, because he could have came up there. And Noah, he's just, even when he's called somebody and they said, oh yeah, I can help, I can drive up there and help you, he was already on plan B. He was saying he wanted the person to come the quickest possible. So he's just like, no, don't do that, don't bother everyone. So he eventually just stopped. And I'm just still in the back. I'm still recording the video. I'm still laughing. Out of nowhere, the fucking police pull up behind us on this intersection. And we didn't know if we were fucked, we were in trouble, or what was going to happen. So, police officer just knocks on the door, rolls down the window, and the police officer's like, hey, I'm officer blah blah blah. I was wondering if you know why I'm here. I just got a call and saying you guys need it. Looks like you guys need help. Can I see your guys' ID and stuff like that? So, yeah, I'm 16, so I can't. Well, about to turn 17. I can't show my ID yet until I'm of adult, which is 18 years old. But Noah is 19 and Keith is almost 60, probably 60. And they had to show their identification to the officer. So I am not a big fan of the police, so I just kept my cool. I was in the back seat. I just kept quiet the whole time. The police officer was just like, okay, well, did you call the car insurance company? And Keith's like, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. Police officer's just like, okay, well, they're gonna come tonight and tow your truck. So, I just called them. And Keith's like, son of a bitch, well, what are we gonna do? You know, he's just thinking that in his head. So, police is like, okay, well, alright, well, you have a nice day, and hope everything goes well for you. So, goes back in his car. Police officer drives away. Very nice guy. So, Noah had one more option. He called his cousin. So, his cousin, really cool guy, drove all the way up to Green Bay. It was 30 minutes. Oh my god, we were just waiting in there forever. Like, seriously. Sorry. And this cousin of his came up eventually, popped in the tire, and this old tire, though, that got popped, it wouldn't come out. So that means he bought a whole tire for nothing from Walmart, which is the 10 minutes extra we had to be waiting for, because he had to run to Walmart and drive all the way there in Green Bay, and that's took 20 minutes for him. So he drove there though, and him and Noah, me and Keith were sitting in his car. You see, Keith didn't know at the time, but he tore his meniscus. I think that's how you say it. It's a bone. How he explained it to me, it's kind of like a rubber band. So a rubber band, right? How it stretches, and it feels like his bone is like that, but it rips. So it tears, and he says it's the worst fucking pain you'll ever feel in your leg. I told him that's not possible, because pregnancy is the worst pain you could probably... any asides, you know what I mean. So his knee was fucked up. He couldn't help them, so Noah and his cousin were on this passenger side with the front tire, fixing the tire and trying to pop it out, but it just wouldn't come out. So we had no other option. I had to take all the stuff I packed for my 2nd grade teacher's house, which I was going to go there, and we had to pack it in his cousin's car and leave the Kia there. So we were all sitting, okay, in his cousin's car. His cousin, okay, so this was the positions we were in now. So it was like a van, I don't really know, but on the driver's side, it was Noah's cousin. On the passenger, it was Keith. Noah was sitting where I was sitting in the Kia, so behind the driver's side, and I was on the complete opposite side of Noah. And we were gonna drive all the way to, I believe, his daughter's house, Keith's daughter's house. Turns out, we forgot something in the Kia. And that was her keys, again. And we were fucking halfway to her house, too. So, we took 20 minutes driving all the way back to, like, 10 minutes out of Black Creek, where this intersection was. We had to go up to the Kia again and grab the keys. Noah grabbed the keys, went out, grabbed the keys, brought them back in. So, drove all the way back. And Keith also was required to put his keys in the car, in the Kia, and leave it unlocked, which is fucking crazy, knowing how bad of a city Green Bay is. So, we drove all the way back, and me and Noah's cousin had to piss bad. So there was an Arby's there, like I mentioned earlier. So we went there, we pissed, and we were off. We went to his daughter's house. I got all my shit ready. I pulled into the back of Noah's truck, because Noah's truck is at his daughter. We didn't take his truck, so his truck was still there. The Kia was fucked. So we had two options. Noah could take me to Manitowoc with his truck, or Keith could. And obviously we thanked Noah's cousin. He drove off. Very nice guy. I can't believe he did that for us. Thank you, if you are watching this. Anyway, Noah is the one who ended up dropping me off in his truck. We drove all the way to Manitowoc, and that was it. Well, that was the story. Honestly, it was a very bizarre, funny experience, and I loved sharing it with you guys. Like I said, I'm a person in any sort of awkward situation, I'll just fucking laugh out of nowhere, and it's just my personality, and it's just who I am. So, now that I think of it, I am going to make a separate channel called Thane TV Stories, and this will be the first story on that channel. So what I'll do is I'll take these stories and I will post them on that channel so I can share my life experiences with you guys. So this was an awesome story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you.